Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where we're having a look at another 5 films in my high fantasy sword and sorcery collection. I hope you enjoyed the first video. It was just a little taster of things to come. There's a lot of films within this genre, or in these genres, within my collection. You guys know I thrive on this kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. So these videos, this sort of like videos, up and coming stuff was going to happen sooner or later. It's one, after I did the sci-fi collection, one that's been sort of on the back of my mind to do constantly, week after week after week. So I thought, I've got time, we'll sit down, we'll smash a load out, we'll have a look through at what I've got. And the first 5 didn't sort of let us down. They were great films. So on to this 5 for this episode. The first being absolutely brilliant release, this one. Network did a fantastic job with these. And it is The Thief of Baghdad. This is a film from 1940, but don't let that put you off. It's a phenomenal film. This was an Oscar-winning film. It won numerous Oscars at the time of this coming out. The typical storyline of this kind of stuff, Genie of the Lamp kind of thing, grants 3 wishes, Prince gets exiled, tries to rescue a princess, damsel in distress kind of film. You've seen it all. If you've never seen, you know what I mean, any of this kind of stuff before, The Thief of Baghdad is probably where it all started off from. Your Arabian Nights, all that kind of stuff. This looks phenomenal. This was remastered, put back into its original format, and put into Technicolor, and looks absolutely pristine in high definition. It looks great. At the time of this coming out, 1940, I don't think anybody had seen special effects like what was in this. There's a couple that stand out. The genie really stands out. The flying carpet is brilliant how they did that. Obviously back in the day there was no green screen or anything like that, so I'm not 100% sure how they actually did it, but it looks really good and it stands up really well. So if you've not seen Thief of Baghdad, definitely check it out. It's definitely worth a watch. Second one, and I do need a Blu-ray of this. There definitely is a Blu-ray of it. Flight of Dragons, class animated film by Rankin Bass. You know Rankin Bass from doing loads of other stuff, Frosty the Snowman and all that kind of stuff. Also did a load of 80s cartoons, children's cartoon stuff as well as. Flight of Dragons, really good. If you've never seen it, probably one of the better full feature-length films that Rankin Bass did. And again, I do need an upgrade on this to a Blu-ray. There definitely is a Blu-ray of it. This particular reason, again, I need to upgrade this to a Blu-ray, and I've had this DVD since it came out. You'll be able to tell why. This is what got me into the whole franchise of fantasy, high fantasy, sword and sorcery kind of stuff. I remember watching this as a child, and it blew my fucking mind how good this was. And it is the animated version of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Now, bear in mind, if you've ever seen this, it's not the full story. This adaptation cuts off about halfway through the second book. So there was something in the pipelines to do the second one, but for some reason never got made. So you don't get the full story within this film. It sort of drifts away midway through the second novel, but do not let that put you off watching it. This is a masterpiece. It is the first time I'd ever seen retroscoping. If you don't know what retroscoping is, it is animation over the top of live actors or live action. It still looks good now. It still holds up really well. Back when I was a kid, it was fucking scary as shit, considering this film's only a PG, but holds up really well. The artwork, the art style of it, everything about it, the soundtrack to it, the score to it is a work of genius. And at the time of watching this, like I say, when it first came out, it stands out a mile. Again, this is Ralph Bakshi who did this as well, and you can tell with his art style that it's a Ralph Bakshi production. Looks absolutely phenomenal, still holds up really well. So if you've never seen the animated version of Lord of the Rings, go and check it out. I was looking on the back then what year it is, and it does elude me. Is it 1976? 77? Something around there, I think. But typical Warner Brothers, they never put the date on the back. I'm sure it's something around there. But this came out, I've had this since 2001, this DVD. Old snapper case. I should upgrade, I need to upgrade. I'm surprised if this doesn't get the 4K treatment at some point, because it definitely deserves it. So from an absolute masterpiece to an absolute piece of shit, the first attempt at a Dungeons & Dragons film. It is Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, I was really excited when they first announced this. I thought, right, okay, we might get something down the lines of a good Dungeons & Dragons film, something that stands out. Did we get it? Did we hell? What we got was something that looked visually good, but the storyline was a bit crap in it. It didn't really make much sense. The editing of it was all over the goddamn show, you know what I mean? It was terrible editing in it. And actor-wise, yeah, you know what I mean? I think they could have done better with the actors that were in it. But nevertheless, I can watch it. You know what I mean? It's not the best. I would imagine this has got a Blu-ray, but I've just had this old DVD of it for years since it come out. Do I need an upgrade? Probably not. Does it want an upgrade? Probably not. I mean, if I ever just dropped on it for cheap, I probably would switch it up for a Blu-ray. It was annoying more than anything. The stuff that was edited out of the film made sense for this film to work. So if you watch this theatrically, it made no sense whatsoever. The DVD cut of it, the director's cut of it, sort of puts all those cut pieces back in, and it makes more sense. But why the hell it was ever edited down, unless they thought it was too long or something, I don't know. But where it was edited, it chops massive scenes out that make the film just fucking senseless. You know what I mean? It's really weird. So that's Dungeons & Dragons. And then another one that should have worked and didn't work in any way, shape or form, and just came in and then just flew under the radar, was Monster Hunter. As a game franchise, this was huge. Now, I know game adaptations don't always work, and there's only been a handful of game adaptations that have ever stood out to be any damn good. But again, I had high expectations for this one, and when it came out, it was an absolute turd. Again, another film that doesn't really make much sense. I mean, considering Mila Jovovich does a lot of this kind of stuff, and most of it is pretty much nonsense that she does, but it's entertaining. I was expecting the similar kind of thing. This is neither entertaining or it's just nothing. It's just really bland. But the subject matter to it could have been so much more. If any of you have ever played any of the games, they're exceptionally good. It's set in a great universe, and the beginning of this film is set in our universe and our time, and they're like a special elite bunch of Navy SEALs, which piss me off because that's nothing to do with the game. That get sucked into this realm while serving in Afghanistan. It didn't make much sense, but it's nice to see what they did aesthetically with where the characters looked further on in the film, because they look more like characters from the Monster Hunter franchise. Some of the crazy weapons and some of the monsters, yeah, they were okay, give or take. So yeah, that was Monster Hunter. Again, it sort of came in, flew under the radar, didn't really do much. So the 5 for this episode were Thief of Baghdad, Flight of Dragons, Lord of the Rings, the animated film, Dungeons & Dragons, and Monster Hunter. So again guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Please keep your eyes out for the next episode. I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.